Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to Farm Simulator 25. Hope you're all doing really well. I'm back, finally. I've got a bad back, but I'm back. It's not been nice. I'll get into it in a second what happened, but it's been a struggle to sit behind my computer, my setup, and just sit on my chair for a bit, so I've had to rest up and not been able to do some content. So I'm hoping to get this one done, go for a bit of a walk, and then do some editing. That's the plan, but I'm back and I can finally get on with making some videos and doing my two series that I've got going, which is my small holding series, and then I've got the series that was called Calmsden Let's Play, but now is called the Oak Bridge Farm Let's Play series. So first, let's get into that because I think it's important to talk about. Probably a lot of people have had questions about what's gone on there, and just fundamentally, just to make it really simple, it's to respect the privacy of the farmers out at Calmsden Farm, the real life place. So what's gone on, basically, if I just give you an idea of this area in real life at Calmsden. So that farm there is owned by the people at Calmsden Farm, just like that is. But this road here is actually a private road with a fence, so you can't actually get onto that property there. It's all private land, and the same goes from this point onwards that way. So basically, the only thing that's public is this road. So I think what's happened is because Oxy's made this map, people have been going to Calmsden, including myself. I've actually been to Calmsden with Beanie, and we actually parked about here on the side of the road. There's a bit of a runoff, and we took some photos. But I think what's happened is people have gone onto the land. They're not staying to this public kind of road area and just taking photos like I did, or with Beanie. I think people have tried to get access to this part here, maybe take a few photos, go on a walk, and the farmers don't want that to happen. So, you know, out of respect for the farmers, their Calmsden has been changed, and hopefully going forward, there'll be no issues, even though everybody knows where it is. But unfortunately, it means that every map that Oxy makes going forward, that's also not going to be called by its real life counterparts. They're all going to be fictional names now. Yeah, so they're all going to have, you know, fantasy names, let's say, going forward. It's a shame because it is Calmsden Farm to a lot of people. You know, I'm changing the name of my series title, but this sign here I'm going to keep because I've put this in, and it'll always be known for me as Calmsden because of the fact that Oxy made an outstanding map called Calmsden, but we have to respect the farmers there, and from now on the map is going to be called Oak Bridge Farm. That's pretty much the gist of it. And it's a weird one. It is a strange one, but I can understand at the same time why that's had to happen for respect to the farmers, but it is a little bit of a strange one. Unfortunate as well, but it is what it is. So let's crack on. We've got some bales to sell first, and then we're going to do some mulching. I also want to talk about what happened to my back, because I think it's a good story to talk about. Also, I was going to save it for like the BS survival, for our BS series that I do with Beanie. I think it's a funny story to chat about, but I thought I'd just give everyone an update because I've had so many messages, people saying I hope that I'm okay and everything, which I am. I'm perfectly fine. I've been to the doctors and everything, but it's just bad luck, basically. Just an idiot. I'm absolute moron, let's say. And I damaged my back, basically. I fell down the stairs, of all things to do. I fell down the stairs. This was like 5 days ago, I think. No, it might have been 6 days ago now. I fell down the stairs, and it was like an explosion. I had a tray in my hand, and I had glasses and cups on there, and I was coming downstairs, and next thing, I slipped like on the top step. My feet went under me. I was wearing just socks, and I landed straight on my back and kind of went down the stairs. Everything on the tray, just went everywhere. Beanie shot up and said, "Oh my God, what just happened?" It sounds like an explosion, and I was fine at that point. I was actually fine. I was like, not happy because I just fell down the stairs, but I was absolutely fine. And then 2 days later, this is the bit that's just hilarious. I was getting socks out of a drawer. That's all I did. Bent down to get some socks out of a drawer, and my back just went. It was like probably one of the most painful things I've ever had happen to me, and I've been struggling ever since that point. So I went to the doctors, all that stuff. Found out that it's nothing serious, nothing like, that I need to worry about. I just need to heal up, basically, and that it will take time, but I'm fine now. I just couldn't sit on my chair, and that was the problem, because if you're doing content, it takes a couple hours to record, and then you've got some editing, and if it's the farmhand especially, that is a long period of time that I sit down and I just couldn't do it. So I was trying to make a shorter video for the farmhand. The one before that was pretty difficult to make, but yeah, I decided the second episode that I did this weekend just gone, I needed to skim it down just so I can rest up. But I'm feeling much better than I did after I picked them socks out them drawer. After I picked them socks out the drawer, I'm feeling so much better since then. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Don't fall down the stairs with a tray in your hand and then don't think you're okay. You know, when you're clearly not. And all it takes is some socks, and that's it. It's game over. It's game over then. But no, I'm back. I'm back at it with a bad back. Not fun though. Not fun to get a bad back. Makes me feel sympathy for people because they've got, you know, a lot worse problems than what I have, and yeah, it felt very bad. The pain's not fun. I mean, toothache's always bad. Always said that toothache's not good at all, but backache's up there. It really is up there with toothache. Right, so one of these. There we go. 15,000. That's all we're going to get for that, but that's better than nothing. That's pretty much all the straw bales that I'm intended on selling out of the harvest we did. The rest I've stored away and parked up. We're going to be planning out our next harvest, basically, on this series. I'm going to use, obviously, much bigger equipment with this, but we're trying to save money to get a harvester, but I have decided that if I need to lease out, we're going to lease out. I've leased out a mulcher, and that's going to be the job for today's episode, just to try and get the field mulched and ready. And then we'll obviously come up with a plan of what we're going to plant at some point. That's pretty much, yeah, I think that's probably the best way to go about it. But no, I mean, loads of mods have dropped today as well whilst I'm recording this. Loads of them. We got some ones from Giants as well, which is good to see. Bringing some of the, you know, the equipment that we missed out on at launch back into the game, which is good. We've got loads of mods coming, and I think we've got a massive backlog of mods as well. So I feel like they need to get a bigger team, don't they, for testing mods at the moment, because they're struggling. You know, they've got, I think mods that are releasing now were submitted around like December, end of December time, which I think just goes to show the backlog that they've got, unfortunately, right now. And I feel like they've let a few people go as well, Giants. I don't know the story behind that, but it seems like they have. I know a couple of the coordinators have left, and it seems like we've got a bit of a change here and there. And then, yeah, the quality team, let's say, that's, I don't know if they're just taking a lot more mods on, or they've changed the way they're testing it. But it feels like they're struggling a bit more than what they did last time. I don't know if that's because the mods, you know, FS25 when it dropped, they're just getting more mods than what they did in 22. But I doubt that. We've always had a load of mods, especially when the game releases, because everybody converts the mods and brings them over. Script mods are usually something we see actually sooner, so they're quicker to get them out than the models, because obviously, you know, the modeling in Blender might take a bit of work to convert over. But yeah, it's I do feel like they need to probably invest into a bigger team and help out the QA department they've got going on within the mod testing. But then again, probably what will happen then is mods will slow down and they'll have people just sitting about. But I'm sure they can put them to some good use. There's plenty of things to fix still within the base game, so yeah, you could put them into that, can't you? Task them on maybe testing out some of the changes and patches and everything. But yeah, it is what it is. I know we're getting some free content updates very soon. We've also got DLCs and other bits and bobs coming along the way, so it shouldn't take long, hopefully, till we start seeing some good stuff coming out. Anyway, let's have a quick look at this. Field, like I said, is all done, harvested. Weeds have actually grown back. I've gone into July day 1. We want to talk about the moisture mod in a second, because I'm worried about it. I'm worried about it, and I'm keeping a close eye on it. But I wanted to just talk about the fact that I've taken out the hedge in between field 5 and I think it's field 6, isn't it? Probably wrong now. No, it's field 7. Yeah, field 6 is there. So field 5 and 7 we're going to combine together for the next harvest. So I need to sort the trees out, but we have got like these electrical lines. So we're going to have objects or little islands within the field anyway, so we'll make sure to sort that out. But I'm not going to yeah, I'm not going to plough this in just yet. I want to take the trees out at some point. We're going to tackle the mulching first, and then we can like maybe just plough in this area just to combine it into one big field. I think it just makes sense to do that. I mean, it's yeah, I'm just trying to think. We could leave the trees in, but I think with this, we're going to have too many islands, aren't we? And if we do use course play in our work, it's just going to confuse everything. Whereas we take out the trees and just leave in, the electrical lines, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. I mean, to be honest, I could always take the collisions out of these. So if we, wanted to drive through them, we could. Not ideal, but it is always an option. If it confuses courseplay, basically the AI worker, just remove the collisions, and then it's not an issue anyway. And as long as we kind of make a circle area where it's just grass and bits and bobs like that, then it won't, it's not like it's going to plant crop through it, because we can make sure that doesn't happen. But that might be an option. That's like a last resort anyway, so it always works. But yeah, that's going to be the plan, to combine them. So I think the next task with that would be take out the trees. We'll focus on getting this mulched in, because after mulching, we're just going to direct seed in. That's pretty much the plan. And there's a good reason for that, and I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, we're going to just mulch, direct seed in. We'll combine that field, make it all one, but that's going to be a little bit different, because obviously we need to take the trees out, then we're going to have to plough in, and I think after we've ploughed in, then we can direct seed. So we'll probably direct seed it all in at the same time and get that kind of ploughed up before we need to direct seed in, which if we're going to be doing, wheat, barley, canola, whatever, something along them lines, we're talking, well, wheat's September, so we've got a couple of months. Canola is August, and barley is September too. I mean, we could go for wheat. We've done barley this time around, but I do like doing the kind of traditional crops when we're doing, a Let's Play series like this on Oakbridge Farm. It's really difficult to remember to say Oakbridge Farm. It's a strange one. It's like I've known something for so long to be called one thing, and then all of a sudden it's just changed. But no, Oakbridge Farm, if we're doing it's like a traditional UK arable Let's Play, then yeah, I'm happy to kind of stick with the barley, the canola, oats, wheat. I mean, oats is a good shout. We could do oats. The planting for that is March, so that actually gives us a bit of time to prep, but I don't think we need that time. But I think it's either going to be canola, wheat, or oats, because we've done barley. So I think that's probably the best shout. And we've always got that other field to kind of do something a little bit different. We could try and mix it up with maybe a bit of carrots, or I mean, carrots are a nightmare. But if there's some mods out there that make it a little bit, let's say, friendlier, then we may as well go for that. Potatoes as well. I know we're doing sugar beets right now. Could go down the route of maybe doing potatoes, but I think we should always try and do something a little bit different in that field, just to mix it up. That's probably the best bet. But anyway, let's talk quickly about the moisture mod, because, well, it's the realistic weather mod that adds in the moisture. I've not seen any weather events yet, but I've only actually gone through 1 month since, I was last playing on this, because I took a few days away from my computer just to kind of obviously rest up and stuff. But if you've noticed, the moisture is at 0.66. That's the moisture of the ground right now, which is insane. It is insane, but it was 20 degrees in the morning. I've not had any rain since the last time I had rain, and I did have rain right at the end of the last episode, and actually the moisture didn't go up, and that's what's worrying me. So I didn't see any increase from rain. I'm not seeing any increase in like the morning dew kind of, simulating that, but it is really hot, and you can see it's going to be like 34 max today in this in-game day, and then it was 20 degrees in the morning. So maybe it is the fact that the moisture is supposed to be like this, but then surely I should see a weather event of a drought if that's the case. So I'm keeping a close eye on it, because I don't know if, like, I've got a lot of script mods. It could be a conflict. It could just be not working. Might need a few, patches or updates to get it working the way it's intended. But I do want to keep an eye on it, because if the moisture just doesn't go up, then obviously there's no point in me having the mod on, unfortunately, because it's just going to impact me too much. Like right now, for a moisture of 0.66, I'm well off it. I wouldn't even like to cut grass right now, because one thing I have noticed, which I don't think should be in the mod, is grass actually has a moisture level. You can see that the moisture of this grass is 3.6. So my yield's down. It's supposed to be between 18% and 22%. So this is dry grass at the moment, like really dry. Now that's fine. You know, I don't mind that if the moisture goes up. Maybe we get a bit of rain. Maybe the morning dew kind of raises it. But I'm not seeing the moisture move at all. So I'd like to get some feedback on this. If you've been using it too, and you're playing kind of like the same map and everything, have you noticed the same? Does the moisture eventually go back up? Is it the fact that it's just really hot? Is it working as it's intended to, or is this a problem that someone else is experiencing? Because I'd really like to know. One, because, you know, I want to plan ahead and I can remove the mod now until it's maybe got some patches, and because it'll get fine-tuned, I'm sure of it. You know, the idea is there. The idea is there, and that's a good thing. It's a good idea for a mod. I just want to make sure that it is actually working, because I feel like it's pointing to me right now that there is a problem somewhere. But I might be wrong. It might just be the fact that it is hot and this is what happens. It's just, you know, it's intended to drop this low when it's this warm in these summer months. But it does worry me for cutting grass, because, look, I'm ready to chop this grass. I can go one more with it, I'm sure of it. But, yeah, a little bit of a strange one. Quite a nervous one as well, because imagine if I cut this grass and only get 87%, when really I could double my yield. So, don't know. But anyway, let's get through this. 12 meters this horse is a mulch. It's the biggest mulcher I can find, and I think for these size fields it's going to be needed. We'll do just one in this episode, and then, like normal, I'll make sure to do the other field in between this episode and the next. And then I'm hoping, you know, we can jump in maybe a couple months ahead, and, well, fingers crossed at that point we've got he says we've got, you know, some good signs with the realistic weather mod. Fingers crossed. But let's get steering assist on for this. We'll do 2 headlands actually. That looks spot on. And then I think if we do that, we can see the lines. Alright, so I've got the steering assist working. I found that with my controller there's some kind of conflict. I don't know if it's a mod that's doing this. I don't think it is. I think it's actually something to do with the base game. Since the update, I don't know if anyone else said that, where the controller is not working very well on PC when it comes to the AI worker guided steering and snapping to the GPS of it. I mean, I would love to have VCA back, vehicle control add-on. It's a stunning mod, and I do prefer it, even though this is really convenient and having it on hand. I've mentioned that before, but I do want to get back like VCA, because I think that was the best GPS I've used. I mean, Wopster's guidance steering is really good, but I'm not sure if we're going to get Wopster's guidance steering again. I haven't seen anything off Wopster for a while, so I'm not sure. But VCA as well, that's the one. That's the one I'm after.
Sweet like wine, got honey on her tongue. One hand on a bottle, she got one hand on a gun. She squeezed that trigger, you as good as done. I should be running from you, darling, now till kingdom come. 'Cause my mother told me as a child, boy, don't play
the worker is taking over and going to be doing the second field, so field 7. And while that's doing that, we can kind of finish off and just talk about this field that I've just done. Turned out pretty well. Really nice to get a tool that's at 12 meters because I just fly through, I just fly through the job. But I don't know if you've noticed, but you can see the tram lines that we left in the field. And if we just open up our map, there we go. We can see, where is it now? Go to fertilized state and just get rid of the mulch. You can see, because we didn't harvest it, we fertilized the ground, you can see where the tram lines still are because of that. And if we put the mulch back on, we're fully mulched in the field, but we can still see the effects because this was basically crop damage, whereas that's harvested and then we just mulched over it. So there's 2 different ground textures left because of that. Now the beauty of this is when I go over this with a direct seeder and seed in, this area here, the tram lines will still be there. So we don't have to redo our tram lines. All we had to do was mulch, direct seed, and then these, and it won't take into this ground here, and we'll still have a tram line. Same goes for that field now after we've done the mulching. So we might have to do some, obviously, additional tram lines because of the fact, it's a strange one because we're combining the fields now. So really we could have just gone straight up. So we're going to have to do some additional tram lines, and we might not have needed the ones that are kind of like going across now at the bottom of field 7. Also at the top of field 5. So if we just bring back up this, you can see we get rid of that. So basically this we don't need and that we don't need. We could have just kind of carried on. So that one would have gone up there. This one would have connected to that and so on. So really we could technically just cultivate this section, cultivate that section, and then redo our tram lines up here connecting to, if that's the way we want to go about it. But, I mean, I imagine that's probably the best way to do it. Like, it might want us to go across, you see, diagonally. So, yeah, I imagine, I don't know. We'll keep it as it is for now, and then if we have to use the tram lines to go over it, we will. But I think it's probably better to just kind of drive up, and then at some point, maybe the harvest after, if we get to that point, we can just kind of recultivate and start again with the tram lines. That's probably the best bet. But at least we've got it mulched, and we are going to combine it into one big field. And we'll decide what we're going to plant when we get to that point. Let's just jump back over to here. In fact, has the moisture changed? It's probably gone down. I'd like to know. I mean, it is 31 degrees, so it is hot, but yeah, look, moisture. At some point, it's just going to be no moisture in it. Which, I don't know, is that right? Is that normal? Is anyone else experiencing that? I mean, the thing that is worried me is the fact that I got rain. Got rain right at the end of the last episode, and I had no change in moisture. Nothing went up. So that's the bit that worries me. And I need to look into it, don't I? But yeah, let me know in the comment section, is anyone else having any issues with the realistic weather mod? I mean, it's a shame because I really like that mod. In fact, it's probably the most I've been excited about a mod for a long time, because I want stuff like that added to the game more than anything. You know, I'd take that over tractors, equipment, everything, because I want new gameplay dynamics. I want new ways to play the game and experience the game, because I feel like, and I've mentioned this before, it's my one criticism from 25 going, from 22, is we had 3 years of 22 with new gameplay features, and that's fine. So from 19 to 22, they added things in like mulching, they added all the different types of like ground. So we had tillage, didn't we, and soft cultivation, hard cultivation, stuff like that was new. And obviously mulching, and we also had rolling. That was all new, and I appreciated having them new ways to play the game, even on the arable side of things. But we've had nothing new for animals. We've had nothing new on top of the stuff that was added in for 22 when it comes to the arable side of things. So going into 25, which is another 3-year period, which totals 6 years, we're supposed to play the game for 6 years without any additional gameplay features, and that's where my fault lies. Because yes, they've added in, rice, and they've added in. I mean, I can't really think of anything on top of my head, I'll be honest. They've added in swathing and stuff like that, but that's not enough for me, because I don't want to do swathing. I'd rather do the kind of traditional harvesting. That's just my gameplay style. Each to their own and all that. And in the rice, I have to be honest, it's probably something I'm not going to do, because I've already done it. I've done it once, testing it out, and that was enough for me to know that it's not the way I want to play the game, unfortunately. And again, it's a nice option to have in, like productions are. Some people absolutely love the productions. I don't mind doing them occasionally, every now and again, but I prefer doing this kind of farming that, it's what I've come to kind of enjoy about the game. And going back to 17, 19 especially, that's what I enjoyed the most about the game. So I kind of just want to see enhancements to that style, the kind of traditional farming, and adding in, precision farming and the, a future of farming. I really want to see that stuff come into it. But I really think, and I hope, and I imagine a lot of people agree, that we need new gameplay features that keep us, playing the game and interested in the game. So that's the one negative that I had mainly about 25, is we didn't see any of that stuff come to the game, apart from swathing and, really, on top of my head, it's like the new crop types and swathing, but some of the crop types, that's fine. I like seeing spinach, peas, things like that, because it's nice to have them in, but we've got one kind of equipment we can use for that, and it's something that you're probably going to do every now and again. You'll still find that a lot of players want to do wheat, barley, oats, corn, the common crops, let's say, the most popular crops. And I just would have liked to seen something else different. I mean, I've things like pesticides, different dynamics to the way that the ground works, and the nutrients, and maybe the pH values are built into the game from precision farming and stuff like that. I think if we can get a more in-depth version of playing the game like that, and even having it as an optional feature, because I know some people just don't want to kind of go in that depth, but it is a simulation game. For me, it's what should happen. It's literally should be an option at the very least. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Again, everyone will be different. People will agree, people will disagree, and that's perfectly fine. And that's why it's nice to have the option. And I'm hoping, come in, maybe some DLCs or something at some point. It's going to offer something additional to it, and also things like the moisture mod, which is where this point was risen from, basically right now. I was excited for that, because it does offer that difference to it, just like Seasons did in the past. So hopefully we can get some fine tuning there. If it isn't working currently as intended, I'm hoping that it can get sorted, because it isn't. I love the idea of the mod, and I was really excited for it. So let me know in the comment section if you've experienced anything like that, and hopefully it's as intended, because of the fact that it's really warm out, and 0.18% moisture. I mean, that is dry. It's super dry. I mean, it would just be like a dust ball at the moment. But I don't know. I don't know. It kind of seems a bit dodgy, I'll be honest. But yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out in time. But on that note, I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Also, thank you for all the kind comments I've got recently. Hoping I get better and, look after myself and all that stuff. So thank you so much for sending me them messages. But if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up for me. That does help me out. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.